Hey, how's it going? I have another unboxing for you today. Got a cool toy to show you. Let's check it out. Today we are going to unbox the Ronin-S. This is a nice gimbal for a full frame DSLR, but my little mirrorless Lumix G7K is going to fit awesome on this, and I'm going to be able to get some super sweet buttery shots as we're walking around, running around, doing stuff like that. So let's check it out. Here we go. Alright, so I picked up this bad boy on Amazon. I paid $829 US for it. There is a link down below in the description to Amazon if you would like to go check this product out and pick one up for yourself. We'll be using this all the time for our vlogging. So let me pop this guy open here really quick. Alright, I have a nice kitchen knife. Always cut away from yourself. And open. Alright, this comes in a really nice case, as most DJI products do. And it is kind of hefty. It is not playing around, man. So, nice case, very similar to the drone. If you haven't seen that video of us unboxing the drone yet, make sure that you check that out. It's a DJI Phantom 4 Pro 2, version 2, right here. Click that, and that will take you to see that video. So we're gonna unlatch it, and that is sweet. Okay, so we have lots of stuff in here. Let's see what all we've got. Nice little leather case here. It says DJI on it. This looks like it holds a lot of different little components. A little spot for SD cards. A lot of little bitty pieces and parts. So this could be fun putting this all together. Alright, and looks like we have, this is the handle with the battery. That's part of it. Has a couple little holes there to make sure that you can attach your stands. That comes with a nice little tripod stand where you can put on your own monopod or different things like that as well. So that's kind of a cool little added feature there, which is great. Let's see, what do we want to pull out of here next? This stuff is in here tight. Alright, so this is the meat and potatoes of the unit here. So this is what's going to actually hold your camera on here. And let's get this all unwrapped really quick so we can check it out. So let's put... So what I just pulled out was the instructions, which are actually in the very bottom of the box, not inside this case here. So this thing seems pretty hefty, so I'm going to run through and take a look at the instructions as we unbox this guy. So you have a couple different manuals here. So I'm going to set those aside, and let's jump in here to this guy. Alright, so our first step here is to, grab the wrong thing, to actually hook our grip on. And it slides in like, it slides on right here by unlocking the latch, slide it on there, then lock it back down so it doesn't slide off of there for you, which is nice. All right, and then we can go ahead and attach our little tripod here onto the bottom of it. And that's nice because it actually gives you a nice big extension to hold it up as well. This baby is pretty heavy, guys. I'm just gonna throw it out there. If you're using this and holding it all day long, it's gonna be a little bit of a beast. So there's that part. All right, so we're gonna switch over to the mirrorless. We're gonna be hooking up the mirrorless camera, which I'm recording on right now, and we're gonna be putting that on here. So give me just a moment, and we're actually going to, in a snap of fingers, we're gonna actually jump over and start putting the camera on here. So in 3, 2, 1. Now what we're gonna do is actually go over the balancing on this guy. So did just a little bit of practice here to make sure that I was going to be able to get this where it needs to be for the balancing. So let's do that. So first thing we're going to start with, when balancing the Ronin-S is we're going to get the camera put on the slide here. So let's do that part first. A couple parts that we have to start with here is your camera mount. And this is the glide that's actually going to slide on the front here. And then it also has a little support for the lens. So we're going to get all this hooked up here really quick. So this little piece here has a little screw. It's just going to go on the bottom of your camera. You're going to screw that in finger tight. Do not use a screwdriver or anything here because that you will over tighten it and then it will make it a real pain for you to get that off. So just use finger tight. Just make sure it's flush and straight across the back of the camera so your camera's straight. And then your guide is going to go with this little lens support is actually going to go towards the front. This is the part, a little bit tricky. You have actually 2 screws and those have to go here and here. So we're going to start with this back one here and line up that front one. So I was lucky to get them right in there perfectly the first time. So we're going to tighten them down, not completely tight, just to make sure here. And then you'll notice that the lens guard or support is now sitting on the front of the lens. Make sure it's not on the focus or on the zoom wheel because that will actually impede the movement of the lens. We just want it laying against this. It has little wheels on it, so don't go super tight with it against your lens. You just want it sitting so that it's going to hold the weight of that lens as it holds down, and just go finger tight. Everything that we check in, make sure everything's just finger tight there. And now we're ready to go. So we're going to put this onto the gimbal itself. So we're going to slide this into place. There is a little pin here on this side to release, but just slide on, it's good to go. So now the first thing we want to do is lock this in place so our camera doesn't go flying off of it. And we want to get our camera level this way first, and then we're going to play with it level this way, okay? So this back little arm, we're going to slide it over. And we're just going to make sure that the camera sits level this way. So if we're too far this way, it's going to tilt to the left. Move the arm too far to the right, it's going to tilt to the right. So just want to get it right there. We're going to lock it back down here. Now I was lucky enough to where I stopped this that it's balanced, so we're actually looking pretty good. But otherwise, you just move the camera, you loosen this back up and move the camera this way, left and right, or forward and back, just to make sure that it's stable from that perspective and not leaning one way or the other. The last thing you want to do is when you turn your camera either up or down, we want it to stay in that position, and we're going to do that by this little lever here. And we want to make sure that we stay level, but we want it to stay the way we turn it. So it's still not where we want it, so we're going to go up. So that's a little too much. So we're going to bring it back down just a hair. And a little too much back down. So this is the one that'll take a little bit longer. It's one that's been kind of a pain. You just want to do very small moves. There we go. There we go. Okay. So the point, you just want it to be able to hold the position that it's in. All right. So I think we've got it pretty much in the position we want. So make sure everything is locked down and where we have it. Everything looks great. So just a couple other things. When you go to charge, you have a USB port here that will allow you to charge. It's USB type C. And then our battery is fully charged. We got the four bars there. So that's already on. So then all we need to do here is we're actually going to power on by hitting next to your controller. We're just going to push once and then a second time and hold it. You'll see the lights go fully green. and there it just grabbed. All right, so now it's working. It's in free mode here. So this is fully balanced. We can now control the camera up, down, left, and right. So you can see that. You can move multiple angles at the same time. And you have 3 different settings, so you can preset some different things. On setting 3, I just have it in its little bit slower motion or faster motion. If I go to 1, I've slowed down the motor, so I can get smoother shots without rushing those shots. If I double click, let me do this. If I double click the trigger on the front, it will bring it back to center. Same thing if the camera is off, I can double click and it's going to turn it left or right back to center. So it's going to control all motors and bring them right back to center here, which is really helpful. Now also with the gimbal, you're going to get a couple adapter cords that actually plug into the side here, and then they would plug into your camera. Specific models of camera will allow you to then have focus controls. So on the back here, you can see you have a focus wheel, so you'll be able to focus in and out. And then also you'd be able to start your recording, stop your recording. So you'd be able to control your recording from that. So that's handy. However, with the Lumix G7K camera that I'm using, there's not an adapter for this camera, so everything is manual. I have to start, stop here, and do all of my focus controls from up here. So not too big of a deal because the gimbal itself works pretty good. So you guys have seen me struggle putting it together. It's not the easiest thing. I will tell you, just follow the guide. The instructions guide will walk you through every step. The balancing is a little more complicated. The guide is not easy to follow. So I'm going to put a link down below the video of the actual tutorial from DJI on YouTube. I recommend watching those before you even open the box. Just watch there's like 4 or 5, maybe 6 tutorial videos. Watch through those, just make sure that you understand the gimbal, and it will show you all the balancing. Then pull it out, put it together, and then watch that video while you're doing the balancing. I had to rewind, play it a bunch of times. It's not super simple to get the balancing down. Once you do it, it's not super hard. So, and you're gonna rebalance it every time you put a camera on there, or if you change cameras and put a heavier camera, lighter camera, you're gonna have to change it too. So I think that's it. Right as soon as I'm done talking, I have some video of me just like running around the house, literally walking really fast, jumping up and down. And I'll show you that, so that way you guys can see how it performs, or just walking around the house. And I'll kind of narrate so you know what I'm doing at that point in time. All right, so check it out, and we'll see you in the next video.